Today, Senate Republicans will vote on the future of its leadership, with Florida Senator Rick Scott a major candidate to succeed Mitch McConnell.
The next leader needs to be somebody that is just hell-bent on getting Trump's agenda done. That is the most important thing. We know what we have to do in the Senate. What we need to do is have a plan to get it all accomplished. That's what I've done my whole life. I was governor of Florida. I know what to do. I will get it done. I will make sure Trump's agenda is done, and I think that's why I'm going to win.
And this as fellow Floridian and Senator Marco Rubio expected to be chosen for Secretary of State, leaving his seat vacant. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, reportedly a candidate to take that seat. She joins me now. AG Moody, are you interested in filling that Senate seat? And if so, what would your priorities be as senator?
Well, let me tell you what my priorities are right now. Last Tuesday, the American people said, we are back. We are ready to take the government back on behalf of the people and really upend some of these agencies who've had their own priorities in mind, these bureaucrats. So you're going to have people in these high offices working with Trump, even leaders in the Senate like Rick Scott, who have a history of getting things done. I think his tagline has always been, let's get to work, that can drill down into the morass of these bureaucracies and make sure that we're, doing these hard U-turns that we need to do in this country to get us back on the right path.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't press you one more time. Do you want the job of Senator A.G. Moody?
I am, as some of your stories this morning are following some of the things we're doing in Florida. That means holding a FEMA accountable, making sure the FBI is allowing Florida to investigate the assassination of Trump. I have my hands full here as Attorney General, and I'm incredibly focused on this job, working on behalf of Floridians, making sure I'm protecting the autonomy of this state and pushing Washington out of our business and holding them accountable. Of course, I have loved being in leadership, working with President Trump, working with Governor DeSantis, and I hope to continue working on behalf of Floridians.
Understood. Do you support your fellow Floridian Rick Scott for majority leader?
Well, let me tell you, he has a history, like I said, of getting things done. And this President Trump, he's given a mandate, and the people want change. Status quo is no longer acceptable in this country, especially in these agencies. You have had people come in these agencies for decades, set up a structure. We move people in as the agency heads, but they can't get a lot done because they won't get in and dig in and disrupt the foundation. And so the president is going to need a Congress that works with him to allow these leaders to change policy, really disrupt how things have been done, and returning these agencies to agencies of the people. Again, last Tuesday showed us that the American people do not like the direction this country is going in, and you've got to have strong leadership in all branches of government to make sure we return this country in the hands of its true owners, the American people, not the squatters, the bureaucrats in our agencies that have taken over in Washington.
Well, speaking of agencies, the House Oversight Committee is going to hold a hearing with the FEMA Administrator, Dan Criswell, after an official who was accused of telling staff to skip hurricane-ravaged Trump homes claims it was common practice to do so. Listen.
They all alleged that these actions were made on my own recognizances and that it was for my own political advances. Unfortunately, it just so happened that the political hostility that was encountered by my team, and I was on 2 different teams during this deployment, they just so happened to have the Trump campaign signage. FEMA always preaches avoidance first and then de-escalation. So this is not isolated. This is a colossal event of avoidance.
Avoidance of people who just lost everything in a hurricane. If these accusations are true, A.G. Moody, what does the incoming Trump administration need to do in order to make sure that kind of discrimination, and that's what it is, never happens again?
This is par for the course, right? We keep having this messaging coming out of these agencies, especially during the Biden-Harris administration, that, there's nothing to see here. All of these allegations that we're being partisan or that we're not doing our jobs or, heck, the border may not be secure. It's not true. And then we find evidence that it is true. And so, as with regards to FEMA, they are being now presented with evidence that they were treating people differently based on their partisan views. That is an incredible discovery in the United States of America. And so, of course, you're going to have an investigation. We're not going to wait. Right now, Biden and Harris are still in office. In Florida, we've launched our own investigation. I think you're going to see, once we start uncovering things, you're going to start seeing them say, well, maybe we did do this and it was routine, but it was because of safety issues. You know, that is what you're going to probably start hearing. You're already seeing some insinuations to that. But this is unacceptable. I commend Congress for looking into this. It's a bare minimum. We have to do that. And we'll consider all options on what Florida can do to defend those that may have been targeted.
It's sick. It's un-American. DHS oversees FEMA. So Kristi Noem has her work cut out for her, really restoring faith in the agency that is tasked with restoring hope in a time of tragedy. AG Ashley Moody, thank you for your time this morning. We certainly appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.